let's go to China.
Welcome to Chinese news. It comes from China. China. It's not racist at all. Chinese news.
It's not racist at all. The nationalpulse.com revealed.
Oh.
Now, the National Pulse is interesting because we're not quite sure on where it stands. However, Chris Shilzilla unironically retweeted or tweeted a National Pulse article once. So I'm assuming it's accepted in sort of the mainstream crowd, I guess.
Sure.
But
I'm going to look at the media bias and fact check of
check it
National
out.
Pulse. Yeah, go ahead.
But they might not be welcome in that crowd for very long because they have an article here revealed. CNN, CNBC, AP met with Chinese Communist Party propagandists in July. Oh, you don't say.
Hey, man, my Nancy theory's alive, baby.
Oh, no, you do. Oh, I'm shocked. CNN and CNBC and the Associated Press meeting with Chinese propagandists a month ago? You can't possibly be telling the truth, National Pulse.
Well, before we get into it, I have it here. The National Pulse is considered extreme right.
That is very interesting.
By the mediabiasfactcheck.com, which I'm sure they don't have their own bias, I'm sure, because they're a website.
Okay.
But propaganda, conspiracy, failed fact checks, extreme right, factual reporting is mixed, press freedom rank is mostly free. Low credibility.
That's part of the job here, Gons. We do is if we are pulling from something unknown, we'll check the rankings. So here's some extreme right propaganda that includes reporting on CNN, CNBC, and AP meeting with Chinese Communist Party propagandists. Major U.S. news outlets, including CNN, CNBC, and the Associated Press, recently met with Chinese Communist Party propagandists flagged by the U.S. government for seeking to, quote, malignly influence U.S. politics. The National Pulse can reveal.
They can.
They're being
allowed.
Are they? Yeah. Is it they have the ability to, or they are being allowed to? Bureau chiefs for the Associated Press, CNN, and CNBC took a meeting with Chinese People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries. That sounds nice. Sounds almost as nice as the People's Liberation Army. Which is part of China's $1 billion United Front effort. The United Front aims to co-opt and neutralize sources of potential opposition to the policies and authority of its ruling Chinese Communist Party, and influence foreign governments to take these are code again. These are quotes, by the way. These are in quotation marks. Co-opt and neutralize sources of potential opposition to the policies and authorities of its ruling Chinese Communist Party, and, quote, influence foreign governments to take action or adopt positions supportive of Beijing's preferred policies, according to the federal U.S. China Security and Economic Review Commission, U.S. government initiative from 2018. Ooh, that's a mouthful. This is interesting. Just a quick mention. I was talking to just sort of a normie, but strangely enough, a normie who was a total zeitgeist 9/11 truther type of person when we were kids, and since then has turned total 100% normie. And I was talking to him about propaganda. And he's like, yeah, I mean, everybody does propaganda. I'm like, yes, I agree. And he's like, yeah, propaganda. The definition of propaganda is just like trying to convince somebody of something. I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, yeah. He's like, yeah, propaganda is totally free. He was like trying to act as if propaganda was just like, yeah, it's just kind of fine, you know? Don't worry about being propagandized.
It's part of the way things are now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that is true post 2013 in the Smith-Mund Modernization Act. So, I mean,
absolutely true.
It's interesting that they would take on that position.
He reminded me of the guy in The Matrix who, I think his name was Tank, who
the steak eater guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who was like part of the resistance, but then decided, I'm just going to live in the Matrix. I like it better there. I'm tired of all this fighting the robots thing. I'm just going to go live in a simulation. United Front groups such as the China United States Exchange Foundation have used tactics including free trips to China to garner, quote, favorable coverage from mainstream media outlets, according to Foreign Agent Registration Act, FARA filings. The CPAFC has been dubbed the public face of the United Front Work Department and, quote, avowedly an arm of the party state, in addition to being flagged by the U.S. State Department for its campaigns to, quote, directly and malignly influence American officials and business leaders. Journalists met with the president, Lin Songchan at the group's Beijing headquarters on July 20. By the way, I wish that I could just take a running start at these names. I do not mess up these names to be some sort of funny person. I know that is a tactic of some funny people. My brain honestly just stopped like mid word there. I could not figure it out. So apologies, Songchan. Journalists met with the president, Lin Songchan, at the group's Beijing headquarters on July 26th, 2022. I wonder if that date corresponds with anything. As a press release from the group's Chinese language website reveals, the meeting, quote, enhanced mutual understanding and friendship. On July 26th, this is the quote from their website, President Xin Longtian met with Mori Zijian, director of the Greater China News Department of the Associated Press, Fiang Xin, the Beijing bureau chief of CNN, and American consumers at the Chinese People Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, representative of mainstream American media in Beijing, including CNBC. The two sides had a candid and friendly exchange of views on China's domestic and foreign policies, China-U.S. relations, and non-governmental exchanges between the two countries and issues of common concern, which enhanced mutual understanding and friendship. Okay, National Pulse. I have a bit of a problem with this now. Do you catch the problem?
No, because I was distracted with
you were
child.
Not here.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you the problem. Yes, they were members of CNN and AP and CNBC, but they were the heads of the Chinese offices.
So it's it's a little misleading.
Yeah, it's a little misleading there, National Pulse. I don't know, man. I don't know if we can trust National Pulse anymore.
Well, they are extreme.
Because, of course, the CNBC, CNN, AP offices that are located in Beijing would have a meeting with the propaganda department. That's why they're there. That's what they are. They are not a source of American news. And you know what's even greater about this, and why I'm going to give National Pulse a little slap on the wrist, is this meeting of the CNN, CNBC people with the propaganda department. The meeting itself was meant to be propaganda. The meeting itself.
Right. So they're taking the bait almost.
Yeah, the meeting itself was meant to be propaganda, first for the Chinese people to show like, hey, we are working with these American companies and da-da-da-da. And now, through National Pulse, it's being used as propaganda just against the media, saying like, see, they're meeting with them. See, they're now look, we already don't trust these outlets as far as we can throw them.
It could be, and I'm just taking not the other side necessarily, but just sort of looking at it. Why are CNN? Well, why is there a China thing? Why are they in China in general?
Money.
CNN and CNBC, AP is international.
They're a news corporation. They're there for money because China is a big market for entertainment and TV and news. And so CNN has a Beijing office because they want money. And they're getting the money because they can appear as an American outlet and still take orders from the propaganda department. It's money. This is a great reminder that these news outlets are not anything but money-loving, unpatriotic lizard institutions who have no ethics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know that already.
Yeah, we knew this already, but this is a wonderful reminder. Yep. In today's era of political multipolarization, this is another quote. Let me give you this first. The CPAFC president appeared to instruct the media representatives to portray China as an ally as opposed to a major competitor to avoid misjudgment and misleading public opinion. So that would be the question, is do these messages and do these orders come through the Beijing offices of these news corporations and get applied in the U.S.? That is the real question.
Yeah.
Does the propaganda make it across the Pacific? Which I think we wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. Quote, in today's era of political multipolarization, economic globalization, and democratization of international relations, wow. It's like a poem. The United States still views China from the outdated perspective of you lose, we win, and either friend or enemy is an enemy. Positioning China as a major competitor will inevitably lead to strategic misunderstandings, misjudgment, and misleading public opinion. What if this wasn't propaganda? What if China did really want to be our friend? And all of our anti-China sentiment was completely made up by our media, and all the Taiwan military drills were completely fake, and all of the everything that we have bad to say about China, the communist state, the surveillance state, the Uyghur concentration camps. What if it was all made up? And they're really just really nice. They're just really nice. They love America. They love blue jeans. They want to be our friends.
I mean, the citizens are probably in that boat. I don't know that their government is, but what government is for the people?
I'm just saying. I mean, as long as we're talking about living in the Matrix here, who knows? Yeah, sure. I'm already in a VR headset. Maybe this whole thing is...
Maybe it's all fake.
Am I already in an Amazon branded Amazon Prime nutrient slurry tube hooked up to my,
those are long-standing philosophical questions about the brain in the vat and all that kind of stuff.
Am I not the first person to think this?
No, it's been a long. I remember the brain in the vat thing in my philosophy 101 class. So
I was thinking about making a pretty good movie. I had this good idea for a movie where I come out of the Amazon slurry tube that's been sort of powering some sort of monstrosity of a society inhabited entirely by unfeeling, calculating robots. And then I learn Kung Fu and then I can rescue everybody else out of their pods. What do you think?
Yeah. That's sounds like a
pretty good
hit.
Movie, huh?
Yeah, big hit.
I think it could really kind of shift the way people think about things. Yeah. The article ends like this: the Unearth webpage follows the National Pulse, linking other individuals and organizations who are often publicly soft on China, affiliating with the CPAFC. Similarly, mainstream media outlets have repeatedly published stories lauding the Chinese Communist Party and uncritically echoing the regime's propaganda and talking points. Well, we can't argue with that. Yeah. Thank you, National Pulse.
I'll make one point here, which is sort of kind of a tangent, but also I think it's interesting to point out. According to projects.iq.harvard.edu, there's an index. Link. Yeah, there's an index of U.S. mainstream media ownership.
Oh,
and it's got a list here. And Fox,
this is great.
Yeah, under Fox, you get a bunch of Murdoch, all this kind of stuff. But one of the groups, BlackRock, about 5% of What is this?
We did know this. What is
top investors, donors, owners. So Fox. Okay, so Fox, BlackRock, CNN, BlackRock. Who else here? Let's see. ABC, BlackRock, NBC, BlackRock, CBS, BlackRock. What else? MSNBC, BlackRock.
Wow. Imagine that. Our entire
USA
media
Today.
landscape being owned by one company.
Yeah.
Now, of course, that's just they own stakes in it.
Yeah,
right?
one of many stakeholders. Yeah, PBS. So you got the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in there. Let's see. Is there BlackRock in here? I'm just looking at BlackRock because BlackRock. New York Times, BlackRock. I think that's about. I mean, here's one. Sinclair Local Television News. That's local cable TV. BlackRock.
I know Sinclair. They own a bunch of radio and TV stations around the local stations around the country.
Newsweek. Oh, no, wait. Newsweek. Why is Newsweek highlighted? Interesting. Newsweek does not have BlackRock listed as one of their holders. CBS 60 Minutes, BlackRock. AP. Oh, AP does not have BlackRock. Interesting. I was looking for the ones that are mentioned in this article here.
No, AP is owned by the Saudis, I think.
Right.
I need to use the restroom so badly, and we got to thank some people real quick. If we can get through this break, and then you take the money segment.
Sure.
We have to go, man. This is an emergency.
What did you eat before we went live here? Did you?
Oh, what did I eat or what did I drink? I ate a burrito.
Okay.
But I drank about a gallon of water.
That could be bad.
Yeah. And that's not the problem. I've had about 4 of these sparkling waters. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll spare you because this is a huge list. Maybe I'll include it in the show notes.
Well, I am spending so much research time constantly looking up the ownership of these news organizations. If you have it all in one place, can we please put that in our resource pile?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see.
Probably make that available to everybody else too. We'll stick that in the newsletter for next episode.
Yeah, we'll definitely have it in the next one because I think today's already went out.